Hello, my name is Jeremy Turner and I am pastor at Kirkland Assembly of God. Welcome to Holy Week Highlights Devotional. Holy Week is the time between Palm Sunday and Resurrection Sunday. Each night this week at 7 p.m., I'll share a devotional on what Jesus did that day on his way to Calvary and the resurrection. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on Good Friday, we'll be partaking of communion via Facebook Live to commemorate the death of Jesus. And I would like for you to be prepared by getting the elements of bread and juice. Also, I would like to invite you this Sunday for online Easter services at our website and my Facebook page. Despite the circumstances, I believe this can be the best Easter we've experienced at Kirkland Assembly of God because we have the potential to reach more people than ever before. So let's share and invite others as we celebrate Easter at home this year and see that this is the best Easter we've experienced. So what happened on Thursday of Holy Week? It was packed full of events. First, from Bethany, Jesus sent Peter and John ahead to the upper room in Jerusalem to make preparations for the Passover feast. Secondly, that evening after sunset, Jesus washed the feet of his disciples as they prepared to share in the Passover. By performing this humble act of service, Jesus demonstrated by example how believers should love one another. Then, Jesus shared the feast of Passover with his disciples. And during this Last Supper, Jesus established the Lord's Supper or communion, instructing his followers to continually remember his sacrifice by sharing in the elements of the bread and the cup. Later, Jesus and the disciples left the upper room and went to the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus prayed in agony to God the Father. Luke tells us that his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. Late that evening in Gethsemane, Jesus was betrayed with a kiss by Judas Iscariot and arrested by the Sanhedrin. He was taken to the home of Caiaphas the high priest, where the whole council had gathered to begin making their case against Jesus. Meanwhile, in the early morning hours, as Jesus' trial was getting underway, Peter denied knowing his master 3 times before the rooster crowed. Let's focus on Jesus' washing the disciples' feet. During his Last Supper with his disciples, it says in John 13:14, he said, "If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet." This principle applies especially to Christians, for we are called to follow the example of the one who gave his life to help all of humanity. Whenever we see a person selflessly and sacrificially, it can be said that we have washed their feet. When we meet physical needs to meet spiritual needs, we serve as our Lord serves us. Now our Lord invites us to share his light with those who are in the dark, to wash their feet as Jesus has washed ours. Let me share some advice from a 102-year-old lady named Lucille Elson. She was born on December 30th, 1917, just before the Spanish flu pandemic began. Her uncle and father contracted the flu, though neither died. She was a teenager during the Great Depression and a school teacher and young wife during World War II. Now at 102 years old, Lucille reflects on the coronavirus pandemic. She advises us to not get too stressed about planning far ahead. You can't do it. You can't control tomorrow, but you can control your service today. As Jesus washed your feet, wash those feet of people. So who can you serve? What can you do for them? How will you make this a true Holy Thursday? By washing someone's feet. My friend, let's follow the example of Jesus and wash somebody's feet. Hey, have a Holy Thursday. God bless.